We are getting close. Well, not close. We're closer than what we were for the
Daytona test.
Is he in the shot right now? That's pretty funny. For the Daytona test with 54 here. We have the rear end out of the car right to Talladega, and we also have the front end gear on it. Justin, will you shut the radio off? That's what Christina's going to tell you. Thanks, man. And you might want to drop that left rear jack stand a little bit on board. Thank you. But no, this car's.
What you tell Justin, now remember,
They take it out.
he went mudding this weekend. He tore the heck out of everything he was mudding with. So.
But it's got 160s running gear, so it's got 160 spindles, upper and lower A-frames, all its ball joints, hubs, rotors, brakes. It's also got 160s rear end package and stuff like that, all the truck arms. So it'd be interesting. It'd be an interesting comparison to see how a straight up short track car, which is what this is going to run at Daytona with a plate on it and some stuff on it that rolls good, because other than that, that's about all we got. But 2E touch frame looks really good. Car's gonna look fine. This is actually the car. This is the first composite car that actually was ever done by a 5-star and Timmy did this body and PBW. So kind of cool to take it back down there. But like I said, it's come along pretty good. Just got my front and rear percentages done, and now I'm gonna start working through my setup, which shouldn't be too bad. Other than that,
Actually,
you all can go talk to Dad.
it actually could be really pretty good, because it was the first car that ever, it was the first composite car to ever be on a 2.5 mile track like Daytona or Talladega. It was done in a test situation. Plus, being one of the first cars to have a composite body put on it, the body was put on it perfectly square as we could get it on there. And now, because of some of the rule changes and things like that, the bodies are starting to get on them a little bit misaligned for downforce and misaligned for side force. So rather than taking our Salem car or one of the newer cars that we have, this body on this car is straighter and actually should run better at Daytona or Talladega than some of the other ones like that. So after the test, we'll try to make a little bit of evaluation and see if it's inevitable that we have to go back with a full-fledged Daytona Talladega type speedway car. We'll see. I don't know. I think we'll be fine though. I think it's going to be a pretty competitive race car. Unfortunately, at Daytona and Talladega, you're at everybody else's mercy. If you don't draft well, if you don't have drafting partners, you're not going to win, regardless of who you are. So all that comes into play. Avoid a big wreck. We'll kind of watch and see what kind of. I do know that when we were down there before testing with the car, we had a bigger plate on it than what ARCA is going back with now. I'm not sure how that's going to play out. I think the bigger plate was probably made for a little bit better racing, because that would give us some acceleration, and we're not going to have that a little bit now. So you're going to have to really play the.
We won't get that now.
Yeah, that's true. So now you're going to have to really work on drafting and timing and things like that. So you might want to watch the Daytona race in February, the ARCA race, because I believe you want to. One of the only ways you'll see some passing might be the tandem draft. So it'd be kind of cool. It'd be kind of exciting for a fan and maybe a driver. Not as exciting for an owner, because it could get really expensive at that point. The other thing we got going right now is, for those of you who, thank you, Justin. For those of you who drive by it, you might notice that our tractor and trailer, our hauler, is not here right now. It is out being redone, so to speak. We're gonna, maybe by this time next week, or next week is Christmas, so we won't be here on Monday, but the next time we go on, we should have it back here, and we will show you some new graphics that we're having actually put on the trailer. New sponsor this year with the Fast Fuel Systems, and We have put some new graphics on it to actually modernize the tractor and the trailer a little bit, and kind of exciting. We haven't showed anybody yet. We've got it all drawn out and it's all done. Haven't brought it to anybody's attention, but you'll see it back here probably within the week. So that's another thing that we've got working right now. We're about 3 weeks away from the test. Other than that, Willie, what you got going on? Working on the setup there, of course. I would say got a street stock car. I know a lot of people have been asking. Is heading out right now. We're waiting on a few other things, and should be going to powder coater here in a couple of weeks. In a couple of days. And that'll be back in here. When it gets back in here, we'll get you some video of that thing. Other than that, we're in pretty good shape.
Hey Dan, did you put that yellow tape on the trip?
We are planning probably by the end of January. We've got another question and answer thing coming up on a Saturday. We'll try to do that right before Daytona, before we leave for Daytona race. Other than that, please stay in touch. Again, I am looking for a jackman to go to 7 races for Will. Keep me informed. If anybody thinks they can do it, let me know. Thank you guys, and we'll talk to you. Have a great Christmas. We'll talk to you next week.